You might want to think twice about streaming that subversive documentary about the Weather Underground that's on Netflix. You seen this? It's like it's almost an homage piece. You know, it's a good documentary on the Weather Underground, but it's a very friendly documentary. Why would you think twice about watching it? Actually, I'm not even sure that it's on Netflix, but if it's there or something like it, here's why you should be concerned. If Republicans have their way, you just might end up on somebody's watch list somewhere. Yes, not making this up. This week, the House of Representatives, the Republican-controlled House of Representatives, passed an amendment to the 1988 Video Protection Privacy Act, which forbids movie rental companies from sharing or selling their customers' viewing history. Used to be you could walk into a video store, say, I want that VHS of Behind the Green Door or Deep Throat, or I mean, if that was your taste, right? You could at least have some or the Weather Underground, or Dancing with Karl Marx, or whatever it may be, and you would know that that company could not share with other people what movies you were watching. But now the Republicans in the House of Representatives want Netflix to be able, and all the other companies out there, all the other companies, to be able to sell or share or do whatever they damn well please with your viewing history. The Senate is expected to take up this amendment soon. If this passes, what you watch on Netflix may soon become public information that your friends, employers, and even the government will have access to. Are you regretting streaming that latest Harold and Kumar movie yet? Or all those soft porn chick flicks? Netflix is in favor of the law because they think it's going to help them branch into social media and connect Facebook customers to each other based on similar tastes in films. Arguably, the book companies, Amazon and Barnes & Noble and whatnot, are already doing this. Although typically they are asking if you want to publish your information. But see, that's not even legal right now under this law, under the law, but they want to blow that up. Unmentioned by Netflix is the enormous profit potential in selling your viewing history to advertisers who can target specific demographics based on your preference in movies. Say, oh yeah, this is somebody who watches movies from the 70s, so they probably are in their 50s. Or this is somebody who watches movies from the 90s, they're probably in their 30s. This is somebody this is somebody who likes action movies, so and movies about hunting and shooting. So let's send them some NRA stuff. Or this is somebody who watches movies about fill in the blanks, right? It's you can come up with your own examples. There's no limit to them. Also unmentioned by Netflix is just who else might get the information once it's taken out of the privacy lockbox. Current version of this amendment does include a provision requiring Netflix to get their customers' consent before sharing their viewing history. Arguably, that's helpful to those of us who are aware of the online threats to our privacy. But the vast majority of Americans, especially younger generations of Americans, are, or at least seem to be, completely unaware that their privacy is in danger when they plug into the internet. And if they do ask for your permission, it'll probably end up being part of those notorious terms and conditions that you check the I agree box for just to get onto the site. We have no terms and conditions. Please check this box indicating that you have read the 22 pages of fine print on another part of our website. Oh, of course I have. Yes, please let me in. Have you ever read terms and conditions? Yeah, of course, Shano. Friggin' law school graduate. Of course he's read them. He reads them compulsively. I've done it once or twice, and that was enough to scare me. I read one that had an arbitration clause in it. Basically, I'm surrendering my right to my constitutional right, my Fifth Amendment right, my First Amendment right to sue. Anyhow, the recent fiasco with Instagram and the ongoing privacy concerns about Facebook highlight how Americans willingly flock to social media without thinking about the consequences for their or your privacy or the value of, and this is important, anonymity. We are sacrificing privacy and anonymity for convenience and interconnection. We enthusiastically post our locations, our pictures, our personal information on social media networks, all of which are monitored by advertisers employers and future employers, and even law enforcement. Your web experience is now carefully compiled and examined so that advertising can target you specifically. They've been collecting data on what websites you go to, what you search for, on hundreds of websites and search engines. I mean, this I think I told you this story when Louise had her breast cancer surgery and was going through chemo and was Googling, things about breast cancer, educating herself. All of a sudden, virtually every website she hit was throwing ads at her for things like, wigs for people who are losing their hair to chemo, or, cures, cancer cures, Dr. Quackback's Acme Cancer Cure. And I mean, I guess that's not horribly. I mean, this is including if she comes into the office and opens up a computer, and as soon as she logs on to any website and knows that it's her, boom, all of a sudden it's throwing these ads out. Now, that's not horribly embarrassing if you've been through cancer, but, what if you've been Googling strippers? Or what if you've been Googling, no, Shano, it's not you. Or what if you've been Googling, assault rifles? I mean, what if you've been Googling, I don't know. What'd you say, Jim? Oh, that would get you in trouble. Yeah, okay. There's got to be a whole bunch of things that, people would, gay people who are still in the closet, who are not out. Do you really want, all those gay dating service ads? Or straight people who are having affairs because they're in, what is that, Ashley Madison, I think it was, or whatever. All of a sudden, what kind of ads do you get if you do that? I mean, whatever it may be. I just find this bizarre. It's a blatant but legal violation of your individual privacy. And this online data collection is now a multi-billion-dollar industry. This level of surveillance would have been horrifying to previous generations, including our founding fathers. I mean, they put the right to privacy in the Fourth Amendment. That's how important it was to them, in the Bill of Rights. Yet in the 21st century, we've become conditioned to accept these invasions of our privacy. It's the new normal. In fact, it's increasingly looking like the United States is just one generation away from completely forgetting what privacy means. And the consequences could be tragic for democracy in our republic. That's because without privacy, without the ability to be anonymous, our ability to plan peaceful revolution or nonviolent social change is radically scaled back. If big corporations or Big Brother are watching, they can block or sabotage your efforts. It's no secret that we've had this massive surveillance state built up. The NSA is building this giant spy center and pulling all this stuff together, emails, phone calls, text messages, all so they can easily analyze it. 500 quintillion pages of text. But here's what's the most important to remember. Social change hinges on privacy and in some cases even total privacy or anonymity. It goes all the way back to the Boston Tea Party, when an anonymous activist known as, to this day, as Rusticus, that's all we know about this guy, posted flyers around Boston that led directly to the Boston Tea Party. If the East India Company had known who Rusticus was, they could have shut down the Boston Tea Party before it even started. If they had known that Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton were conspiring to illegally vote, they could have blocked them. They could have stopped them. If they had known that Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks were planning what they were planning with the civil rights movement, they could have stopped it.